Support for the Idaho Matters podcast is brought to you in part by University of Idaho, Idaho's only Carnegie R1 classified research university. Our Carnegie R1 designation recognizes the discoveries we make that help our forests thrive. It means we're creating more doctors and doing real research to strengthen cybersecurity for Idaho businesses, our energy sector, and every Idahoan. More at go.uidaho.edu/Idaho-is-Idaho.
The Winter Olympics are back, and Boise State Public Radio Music is celebrating the 25th Games in Milan Cortina.
Welcome to the 25th Winter Olympic Games.
NPR is covering the Games from Italy, bringing you the stories behind the competition now through February 22nd.
It's been amazing being here with Team USA.
From new events to medal counts and Team USA's highlights, follow it all with NPR's 2026 Winter Olympics coverage at boisestatepublicradio.org.
From the studios of Boise State Public Radio News, I'm Gemma Cadet. More Idaho Matters right now. Every year, the city of Boise awards grants to groups and people who are creating projects that cultivate a distinct sense of place that reflects Boise's rich past and diverse communities. And last year, the Arts and History Grant Program gave out $120,000 for 44 cultural projects, and the money goes for everything from Chinese dance to a local flute fest. And the nonprofit group African Community Development received one of those grants for their traditional African weaving workshops to share economic, cultural, and community building skills. Buta Missouri joins us to tell us more about the program. Buta, welcome to the show. Nice to have you with us.
Pleasure.
So, Buta, what is African Community Development? What does your organization do?
Well, my organization was launched back in 2007 to promote the integration of refugees and immigrants in Treasure Valley into a community at large, into a self-sufficient, healthy, and inclusive multi-ethnic society. So the idea received the wave of refugees come to Boise, and they didn't have any language capabilities. How we can help also to integrate those people who don't speak English. And some of us who've been here long enough to connect them with local resources in their lingua franca.
So my understanding is that you also provide a lot of services. I mean, things from providing diapers to working on conflict resolution. Can you talk to us about some of that as well as some of the other things that you do?
Well, we do have a bucket weaving project that we launch all the time, and the after school program. And we also have a African youth dialogue. All of that is to help our youth to stay out of deviant behavior when they get the chance to come to America and to become a role model, not to take this opportunity for granted, but focusing on education. And the after school program is to expand the number of Idaho children participating in high quality summer and school here, to improve education and learning loss, and activities that support student learning and behavior health for those refugee children.
Can you go ahead and describe some of those baskets to us? Because you did get the grant money for this basket weaving project.
Mm-hmm. Well, the main goal of the bucket weaving for the African community is to provide an opportunity for African women to learn traditional bucket weaving and embroidery in an effort to preserve their culture and learn new skill. The bottom line is to let those women develop social connection in an effort to decrease feeling isolation and loneliness. And also by creating art and sharing their work, these women will provide the larger society the opportunity to learn about African culture, because when people increase their understanding of one another, intolerance and prejudice will shrink.
You mentioned that this is to help women, in particular about learning about, free enterprise system. Talk to us a little bit more about that and why it's important that women learn this skill.
Well, it is important, first of all, for those African refugee women. We also encourage them to self-sufficiency through learning American entrepreneurial skill, because learning and sharing culture arts while building community cohesiveness, and also it's teaching them how to have an extra income into American entrepreneurial markets. Women, they came divided by history of political turmoil and civil war, but by bringing them together, sharing story and sharing skill in bucket weaving, as I said earlier, it increased cohesiveness. They're fighting against loneliness because they have been cooped up in their house. They don't know how to drive, some of them, because of language barrier. But by bringing them together, I mean, it increased socialization. And also we're introducing them how to sell their product to the local marketplace.
I was going to ask you just that. Is that because you are teaching so many skills, one being the free enterprise system, how does that then help these women in regards to being able to actually make, I would think, some extra income potentially?
Well, they work as a group, you know. Those women are not, majority of them are not literate. So they are working just rudimentary jobs, you know, cleaning and housekeeping. So by teaching them now, we can also sell this. We're exposing to the American markets. They can use their skill and see how they can also be marketable for their skill. That will be much needed in the Treasure Valley. It does help them because when they sell their bucket for $75 one, and it's a different kind of bucket, it also increases some additional financial support into the household.
And what about preserving cultural traditions? Because you said these women work in groups, and yes, they've come to the United States, but at the same time, I mean, it's also important to keep some of those cultural traditions, I would think.
Correct. Well, we do celebrate some of the activities back home here. And by celebrating like Independence Day for those coming from Democratic Republic of Congo, they cook food. People will come and pay. I mean, they invite people to come, and food is not for free, just to pay to support their activities. And also, they will see the work of their bucket weaving, and they will purchase them. And this, they invite even the host community, not only African refugees. So they share food, they dance, they sing music, and also opportunity for people to see what they have been doing here to increase their visibility.
Buta, what about the idea of, I would think that it would be a struggle when you move to a new country and you don't know the language. As you said, a lot of these women, don't know how to read, right? I mean, they are truly
Correct.
starting over from scratch. And it would seem, do many of them struggle? And do they struggle to fit into this new country? And so could this maybe help them also find a sense of community as they are learning these new traditions, right? Learning this new culture.
Absolutely. They come with a plethora of needs, communication barrier first. And some of those who've been here long enough, we are working as a helping hand to the local resettlement agencies. Because when they arrive at the airport, some of us goes there to welcome them. They get the first meal as what we call it, a nostalgic meal from their home countries. We provide that. And we help them how to learn. And we are very thankful for the host community. People are very nice here, even though they don't communicate in English, but also through interpreters. I mean, they have a welcoming face for them, to be integrated in Boise, Idaho. So, and by that, we teach them ABC of integration here, how to use their bus voucher, how to use their food stamp, and how to go to church. Majority of them are Christian-oriented people. And even those who are not Christian, we connect them with local mosque. So people feel at ease by the warm welcome from the host community and from those refugees who've been here longer than them. So we have that sense of friendship and welcoming in order to make Boise great again.
And Buta, before I let you go, how can people find out more about the project if maybe they want to help?
Well, we are connected with Boise city councils, because that's where we get the funds. And our word of mouth is the most marketing tools here in Boise through local churches, events at refugee center, like celebrating World Refugee Day. And even those teachers who teach the skill for bucket weaving, they spread the news. And we have our website as well that people can consult our classes. And when we do activities like celebrating stuff here at the Global Lounge, we invite people to see what we've been. That's why we expose our bucket weaving. And also when Global Lounge have their festival downtown, we also have our booths where we expose the activities that we do, flyers and sample for bucket weaving to increase the visibility and people know where we are and what we've been doing.
Well, I want to thank you so much for taking time to talk to us about your organization. We've been speaking with Buta Missouri about the African Community Development's Basket Weaving Project. And that'll do it for this episode of Idaho Matters. Thanks so much for listening. And just a reminder, you can find all of our episodes wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, it's Terry Gross, host of Fresh Air. Hey, take a break from the 24-hour news cycle with us and listen to long-form interviews with your favorite authors, actors, filmmakers, comedians, and musicians, the people making the art that nourishes us and speaks to our times. So listen to the Fresh Air podcast from NPR and WHYY.